Starting with the front view on this particular object, it's important to note that I took the time to align these dimensions. The 10 millimeter and the 20 millimeter dimension are aligned. That means that they're not staggered off away from each other. In the shop, somebody could easily read through that instead of having a bunch of clutter. Okay, I'm going to pan over a little bit to the right side view. Let's zoom out just a little bit. On this right side view, I put a radius of 2 millimeters and I used typical. Okay, that tells everyone who reads this drawing that any of the fillets that are shown are going to have a radius of 2 millimeters, so I don't have to dimension that all over the place. Okay. You'll also notice there's a section marker here that I made for a section B, which I will be discussing later towards the end. And let's go ahead and zoom in on this view up here, the top view. It's quite a bit going on the top view here, so let's break it down. You'll notice I have a call out for galvanized steel. I should explain what my material is going to be. It's also possible to bubble annotate if I have many different types of material. In this case, there's just one type of material, so I'm using 1 liter to call out galvanized steel. Please notice how I have dimensioned the diameters. Now, if I have a complete circle or a complete hole or a complete cylinder, I'm always going to dimension the diameter. Okay. I will also locate the center point with these crosshairs. All right. In addition, you will see that I have a 50 millimeter dimension just to that center point right there, and then two 30 millimeter dimensions that I accumulated to help locate where that center hole is to be placed. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, oh, and there's also a section marker for A, which I'm going to cover those sections last. In the grand scheme of things, overall, the way I have dimensioned this top view and this front view covers every dimension that I need. And then this radius right here will cover all of the fillets. So I could have dimensioned also another 50 millimeters over here in that space, but I chose not to because it would have been redundant. So we're avoiding redundancy, but we're also covering all of the bases. There's no questions left to be asked about this. So let's talk about these sections. So if you notice the section A, it starts in the center of my object and it goes out past the edge of my object. That shows half of the object cut away. That is called a half section. So I'm literally looking inside half of that object. That is called a half section. And it is very similar to this right side view over here. However, if you look at the arrows on there, you'll notice that it matches the direction. On section B, I'm doing a full section. So I'm literally cutting right through the middle of this material, and it looks nearly identical to the front view.